Hey guys, really quick energy reading. I've had so many messages. I don't know how I don't know how much more I'm going to do on this. I will still be reading on this topic. It's just so intense. Um, Basically, if you're very emotionally involved with the outcome, it can affect the cards and how you channel information. That's of anybody. That's why I can't read for my friends or family members. I can't read for them. I'm straight up with somebody. If I know them well, I'm like, I won't be able to read for you. I know too much about you. I care about you. I care about the outcome. So it's not going to come out. And I can't read for myself either. I'm completely honest with you guys. I can't read for myself. I care so much about Zelensky. I don't want to read for him on on an outcome like that because I'm so fearful for him. And you don't want to have all that fear towards somebody that something's going to bad happen to them either. It's not healthy to put that out there in front of everybody either. Okay. So there's certain things I can't tune into. And I'm putting that out there. I've got no issues with telling you that at all. I can do kind of like the energy around the situation right now. Okay. Putin, I've just heard about. This is the information I've got that I was channeling earlier, guys, and then I will pull out some cards as well. I will ask, is Zelensky safe, though? I will cover that, okay? I definitely will cover that. But I'm not going to go into anything deep or heavy there because I'm not going to put that energy out there. Right. The Facebook ban. It's about controlling misinformation. That's what's been put about. But obviously, it's about controlling his people. So control his people through the Facebook ban. Now, on this line when it came through, control his people, Facebook ban. It was his people, his people. Literally, they're his. He's going to do what he wants. He's going to let them see whatever he wants them to see. Complete control over them, literally. So it's got feck all to do with misinformation. Obviously, that's a part of it, but mainly, they're already turning against him anyway. Facebook is the last thing he's got really where people get information freely. I mean, you've heard people today where Ukrainian families are speaking to Russian relatives in Russia, and the family know there's a war on, but they don't think it's that bad. They don't understand how bad it really is there because of all the misinformation coming out. So part of it is misinformation. That's why they have the Facebook ban. He's worried about people telling the truth. Okay? But the biggest thing on this is control, to control his people. I just heard to keep them under his thumb. To keep them under his thumb. That's why the Facebook ban. That's the main reason for the Facebook ban, not just because he's scared about what they're going to see. I hear under the thumb. Keep them under the thumb. Keep them controlled. And I also just heard he's almost treating his own people like they are in the army. Like he has control over them and they have to do whatever he says. Like if you're in the military and you have barracks and you're going to get in trouble if you do something wrong. And there's very strict rules you need to adhere to. That is how he sees it with his people right now in Russia. It's literally, I've just heard his second army. He is seeing his people as his second army. Okay. And I hear calling people up as well. So I do wonder if he's actually recruiting. I've just heard the word recruiting now. So even though he has an immense army, I feel he's actually still recruiting as we speak, even though they have an insane amount of, military members. I'm still hearing call them up, call them up. So he's still trying to recruit. I do feel some of the people that were the people that were really protesting as well, they have been threatened, I hear, with frontline, which means threatened to be in the front line of Ukraine and go to war. So I do feel, rather than just getting hit or beaten up, he is actually threatening them to send them, I hear, frontline. So for me, that's pretty much frontline means front line of the war when you're on the front line. So that was the Facebook stuff that came up. Then talks on the border are all crap, I heard. This is Putin, not other people. There are people in Russia for their own benefit. Oligarchs, I can never say it, guys, it's embarrassing. I should be able to say it by now, okay? They want peace. They're the ones being heavily affected right now. They're getting kicked in the balls. I mean, with their finances, their houses being taken away, everything. They want peace talks, okay? I feel Putin is doing this for cover. Two things. First of all, he's trying to cover the really wealthy people that are more powerful than him in Russia, okay? So he's trying to cover them. He's trying to cover his back by having these talks. He's also trying to cover the international people, the presidents, America, UK, everyone else, by having these peace talks, by showing he does want peace. He does want peace. He's having these talks on the border, but it's just not quite working out. Bullshit. He wants to crush them. He wants to crush them. He wants to do a lot of damage before he'd even consider having peace talks. And I do hear stand down. Now, this is interesting because it's not to do with the US or UK. He doesn't give a crap about us, okay? He does give a crap about the people in Russia. Oligarchs. How the hell? I'm going to stop embarrassing myself and learn how to say it properly at some point because oligarch. He is actually more worried about standing down due to them. So the only way he's going to stand down is to do with that. That's it. The oligarchs. Nothing to do with the sanctions we're putting on him. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He'll keep fighting. He'll keep going till the end. So it's only the oligarchs in his own country are the ones that will make him stand down. I heard stand down. So yeah, peace talks, guys, all complete bullshit. He has no idea. He wants to cause a lot more damage before he would even have a peace, actually a real peace talk where he decides to, okay, we're going to calm down now. I still hear he wants to do a lot more damage. Oh God, what a mess. Like, so hard to read this as well. Right, so I'm just trying to get back to concentrating again, tuning in. Okay. So yeah, peace talks, loads of bullshit. And I tell you why. It's an embarrassment to him, okay? I did hear the words he wants them crushed, and it's an embarrassment to him what is going on. And that's why he still wants to go ahead and cause damage as much as possible. Russia are almighty and all-powerful, I hear as well. So he wants to prove himself as an army, okay? He wants to prove Russia has one of the best armies in the world. And at the moment, it's an embarrassment to him. I mean, you got kids that are pretty much fighting for the Russian army that didn't even know why they were going there. They've got videos of them calling their mums crying, wanting to come home, you know. And Zelensky was very clever by saying, Russian mums, come to the border and pick up your kids, or Kiev, I think, and we will give them back to you. That was very, very clever because I heard it played on the hearts of the people. So Zelensky is winning through the hearts of the people, whereas Putin is pure force and domination, I hear, okay? So he wants to crush them because it's an embarrassment. So again, I heard until he proves himself, he has no intention of stepping down until he proves himself. He needs to make more headway. Now, guys, I'm crap at timing to the month. I do by quarters. That's what I usually do in my readings, okay? But I've always had 2 months in my head from the beginning of this. So I'm just going to go with that for now and see what happens coming up. Right, let me have a drink. Oh, yes. Right. Here we go. Next subject. Fake numbers on the death toll, okay? Obviously, we know it's a cover-up. We know thousands of soldiers have died. They're saying it's like 500. Fake numbers on the death toll are a cover-up. We know that. It's obvious. But the thing is, it's more of a reason for a cover-up than you think. It's a cover-up because it's not just because he wants to show his fighters are really, really strong, and that's why they've hardly had any deaths, okay? It's all based on, again, his ego, that he is embarrassed, I heard, about how unprepared they are and playing the damage down. Damage control. I just heard damage control. So damage control is trying to literally... I just heard control the narrative as well. Control the narrative. So it's pretty much damage control. That's why you're not getting any accurate figures from him. He wants to act like they're the mightiest force in the world. It's pretty embarrassing to say thousands have been lost and they haven't even got their main target yet, which is Kiev. It's an embarrassment. That is why he's playing the numbers down. It's obvious it's a cover-up anyway, but again, it's more to do with his inner self, which he would never admit, is ego, and he is embarrassed. Shame. He feels shame. Shame. Right, that's something from the Handmaiden, no? Shame. Anyway. Right. Zelensky's energy. Okay, this is what I love about this guy. Okay, I will pull a card out for him in a bit anyway. I don't know if we need it, guys, but I will, okay? Okay. Staying busy to ignore the fear. So he's staying busy to ignore the fear. So he's an absolute legend. He's an absolute hero. He's very, very, very strong-minded. He's got a way, unlike me. I'm super sensitive. Like, if a kid at school said, your shoes are a funny shade of red, I probably wouldn't want to go to school for a week. Triple Cancer here. Sorry, guys. Oh, no. Triple water sign. Okay. He's not like that. He's very good at shutting it off completely. I can't do that. He's very good at shutting it off completely. So he's staying busy to ignore the fear, whereas someone like me would dwell on it 24/7, and no matter what I do, I can't control it. He is very strong in his mindset, so he's staying busy to ignore the fear, okay? Also, this is interesting. I just heard Putin's speeches give him a boost because it's almost like he's turning everything Putin says, which is kind of like, oh no, Ukrainians are aggressive and gangsters. Every single speech, he loves to see what he's going to say next because he's turning his speeches into something very empathic and caring for the people. And even for the Russian soldiers that are fighting, prepared to give them back to their mums. So it's almost like I just heard a war with words. So the war with Russia is not just the military. The way Zelensky sees it, it's almost like poetry. I just heard poetry. It's a war with words, and his compassion and empathy will win through. That's what he sees it as, his speeches, which have won me over completely. And breathe. Right. This bit's lovely because my dad was in the military. He was SBS, so Special Forces and the Marines, and this is what I've heard this before from him and stuff. Okay. He feels at one with the soldiers, just another brother. And when I mean just another brother, I mean brother in arms. So some of the special forces as well, they call each other brothers. My brother, I've got to look after my brother. You've probably seen it in films. Brother in arms. It's like a family, okay? And the other soldiers are doing him a favor by giving him strength and grounding him. So he needs them as much on a personal level, because they give him a sense of calm and family, which is what he's missing. And that's when, you know, the bunker where you see not just the people you see that are, I'm hearing everyday people he wouldn't rub shoulders with every day. They're the ones that are getting him through this because that's who he's fighting for. That's who he's fighting for, his people. So when he sits them in the bunker and they treat him like one of their own and they just have normal conversations, I hear family setting. It's that down to earth. It's worth fighting for. It makes it worth fighting for. It gets you upset again, doesn't it? But, it is. It's just upsetting. Okay, is he protected? Now, I'm not going to go into too much information here. I know it sounds ridiculous, guys. I don't have that many views, but I'm not jinxing anything, okay? Is he protected? Hopefully I can give this information because it's fairly obvious anyway, okay? New location every day or so. You're going to know that from his actual filming his videos. It's a new location every day or so. The intel is what they are relying on, because I heard the word intel, because I thought, are they relying on the special forces or his bodyguards and stuff like that? But intel. So that's what they're relying on. I don't want to jinx anything, but I do feel the people he's with are not moving around at all, because if one of them gets followed, it will lead them back to him. Okay, now let's just pull 2 cards to see. Actually, let's just say, sorry guys, I just hit the thing too hard and it fell over. I don't even want to do this, to be honest, so I'm just going to see how this comes out, because this is one of those questions that I take too personally and I worry about the outcome. But I don't want to say is he safe, but does he feel he is safe? Let's do that one. I feel more comfortable saying that. Does he feel safe? Do you feel safe? Does he feel he's going to be okay? I know saying do you feel safe seems ridiculous, guys, but I really want to know that on some level he feels that he has got a good team around him, he's got good intel, and he's prepared to escape if he needs to. Do you feel safe, Zelensky? Do you feel like you're protected enough? Do you feel like you're protected enough? Do you feel like you're protected enough? Okay, Ace of Pentacles. Kind of torn. It's kind of on and off, guys, to be honest. It's completely on and off, okay? 1 second. I do feel it is, for a start, I do feel Ace of Pentacles is actually the new job, the new financial card, a brand new beginning, money. So he's got some of the countries behind him are doing the intel for him. I don't know if it's the US. I know he does. I do hear inside job when it comes to Russia. So inside job, inside job. But I do feel it's not just people, the connections they have. Russia's right next to Ukraine, guys. Come on. I do feel it's more than that. There's another country like the US that have intel that they are giving him. So it's not just him that has insiders in Russia. The money is doing the talking, I'm hearing. The money is doing the talking. And a country he has past connections with as well, related to his past. Now, interestingly, this is also the family card too. So like I said, they do have people they know in Russia that are connected to this to get the intel. But I keep hearing money talks and I'm getting the US in my head when I think about this one here and what I'm pulling up. Again, the balance is completely off, guys, because, and again, I hear this is to do with aerial bombardment. So even though they might say you're going to be safe if you're in this area from militants, I hear militants, which is that Wagner wankers, let's call them that from now on, Wagner wankers, the people that are trying to take them down, okay? That's why the balance is off, because there's times where he feels like he's going to be safe for that night because they've got the intel, they know where these other people are, they know, they're covered and they're safe for the night. But then we also have the air raids which are coming in, which you never know, again, if it's going to be a direct hit. So that's why the balance is off. So it's almost like half of it, yes, we got connections over in Russia, we have connections to US intel, people are putting the money in, we've got a lot of money for intel coming in to give us really good intel. But how does that affect anything if there's going to be a bomb from the sky constantly? Bombardment, that's as big as worry as the bombing, okay? And again, the chariot means being pulled in two ways as well. And I feel with this at times, he wonders whether to trust his intuition on things, because he's very, I don't know what star sign is, I have to look into this. He's very highly intuitive. So sometimes he wonders whether to go by his gut or whether to go by the intel he's receiving. And that's why it's confusing for him. So there's times where he knows he has a safe space for the night, I hear, but then other times when it's nothing to do with all these militants that are after him, it's to do with bombardment. So it's a bit of a mixed thing, a mixed bag, I'd say. He does get some nights where he can actually feel, this sounds so crazy, but there are some nights when he can sleep where he does feel protected. He does feel protected and gets his head down for a few hours. But when I mean a few hours, guys, I'm on about 4 hours tops. Might wake up, get another 1 or 2 in. I don't see him just passing out for 8 hours solid. But there are nights where he is having that break where he knows he's covered. But again, because the aerial bombardments, they just throws everything out the window. And I'm going to stop this reading here because, again, I said I get very emotional, and the Ten of Swords means like an ending in some way. Okay, 10 swords in someone's back. Now, okay, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I'm going to be honest with you because I'm not going to pull a card and not show you. I've just got the Death card as well and 10 of Swords, okay? Now, I did hear in his unit, it might not be him, it could be someone in his unit, somebody he's already with, and it could be an aerial bombardment, for example. But these are pretty strong cards here, 10 of Swords and the Death card, okay? Now, in his unit. So at the moment, I'm going to believe it could be somebody, God forbid, in his unit, it could be a bombing or something like that, because that's what I would not like to think, guys, you know what I mean? I just don't want to think that if there was a collapsed building or something, then maybe some of them can escape. But if they were ever charged, then everyone comes in the room and they're all in one room, then that's it, game over. So let's all just say our prayers to everybody in the Ukraine, okay? To Zelensky, to keep pushing on and keep going. I'm kind of holding on here to the fact that even though we had the Ten of Swords and the Death card, it said in his unit. So maybe somebody he's extremely close to could lose their life and he will announce it. And that's devastating as it stands anyway, okay? But that's how I'm leaving this reading, and that's why I didn't want to do it. That's why I didn't want to do it. Didn't want to do the end question. But I was going to be open and honest with you. Okay. Also randomly, guys, I did have infrastructure for, again, last reading, but infrastructure in the future going ahead will be equivalent to London. It's literally, I hear, rebuilt from the ground up, and it's going to be the most high-tech infrastructure possible. This is so random. I'm just picking this up now. You know Japan? Don't they have those high-speed trains in Japan and connect in Europe? I just heard. It's going to be faster than the Eurostar, but I do feel Japan and all these countries are going to offer to rebuild. And I think it's going to be actually Japan that will offer to do transportation and trains to them high speed. This could be going ahead 5, 10 years yet, guys, honestly. But I hear high-tech businesses coming into Ukraine, a lot of investment coming back into the Ukraine as well. And I hear it's almost like tech. What's that valley called in America? Not Tech Valley. Oh, you know what I mean. What's it called? What's that valley in America? Tech Valley. I know it's still called Tech Valley. Silicon Valley. It's literally going to be like the start of Silicon Valley in the Ukraine, but this can be years off yet, years off. High-speed trains, Silicon Valley, a lot of tech companies investing there. So it used to be a joke about it's all about the farming, but it's going to be more tech in the future. And I feel this is because so many countries are going to be investing in it as a way of, in a way, it's like an apology for not being able to come in, jump in. But yeah, so random, link to Japan, way off, years to come, high-speed trains, getting that now. I know it's random, but I'm going. And last thing, yeah, guys, if you have any questions, put your questions in the comments. I will probably do another reading answering your questions. I'm just a bit shaken up about those last cards now as well. So I'm just going to see it as I'm too emotionally invested on that question, and we will see what happens and wish them all well. Love and light to you all, guys. Bye.